back with another edition of Henry Talk. I'm Steve Parker. He's your mayor, Henry Vassal. Now here's the question, because I do Vassell and I do Vassal. Would you give me the pronunciation?
Vassal.
Vassal. Okay, what nationality is that?
Polish and Spanish.
Polish and Spanish. Okay, so is it Vassal? Is that the Polish side?
It is.
Oh man, I tell you, because I get, I know on the previous episodes I've demolished your names a couple times, but it's Unite Rocky Hill. That's what we remember, and you remember Henry, and it's Vassal. It's kind of like Vaseline. I got to remember that. I got to ask you though, Henry, when you look around what's happening in town, and the purpose of this program is to address specific issues. This state is embarrassing right now. Who knows when we're going to get a budget? The two sides aren't agreeing anymore. We're all getting hit. What are we doing in Rocky Hill because of state cutbacks?
See, we really don't know, and that's something that I was disappointed with and voted against in the last town budget because there was no forward planning on what are we going to do. We don't know about the funding of the state teachers' pensions and how the state's going to handle that. We don't know what the cutbacks will be, which is disappointing. But one thing, I want to make very clear, and I want to make it clear to the residents of Rocky Hill, I will not raise taxes that mirrors any state reduction of taxes dollars coming to Rocky Hill. I will not do that. I also will not bond for any reduction in taxes because you can't fix debt by creating more debt. That's not how it works. Mm-hmm. And somebody who has a bachelor's degree in finance from CCSU, I pretty much know how finance works. Debt just creates more debt.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the things that I get frustrated about, and I have it in my hometown, but Rocky Hill is really tough. When you look at, give me rush hour. When you look at the Silestein Highway, when you look at Route 3 and all the things that are going on there, man, oh man, and plus 91 coming through town. What can we do to try to make things maybe move more fluidly? Is that something that is that a possibility, or we just have to learn to live with it?
Yeah, I got to tell you. So there has been studies done in the past on Route 3, which we need to address and we actually need to utilize. But I'm a volunteer firefighter here in Rocky Hill, as you know, for 18 years now.
Hey, I did 4 years in Newington. God bless you, because you don't get paid for that either.
No, you don't. Mm-hmm. No, you don't. But it's frustrating because when we're going to a fire call or we're going to a car accident during rush hour, it's very difficult to get through Route 3, the Silestein Highway, and I think it's a problem. I think the residents think it's a problem, and they keep adding more and more business that is going to create more traffic. I'll tell you the latest one is there's a Hampton Inn going in on Route 3. And, the hotel, several hotels in the area, not sure it was needed. They're going to leave one hotel to build another hotel. So what happens to the old one, we're really not quite sure. But the most frustrating part is the present administration gave them a 5-year tax break.
Nice.
Now, every resident in Rocky Hill wants a 5-year or 10-year tax break, for that matter. But why is a hotel coming in town? Didn't really prove that there was a need getting a 5-year tax break. And I'll tell you, it's especially frustrating to me, and I brought it up in the meeting. We do have a hotel in town that a lot of the residents are funded by the state.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And what's going to happen to an empty hotel? Is the same thing going to happen? And what happens to the town services then? And when the state comes in and funds, they already put a health facility up on Brook Street that does a lot of diagnosing and research on chemicals and things that have injured animals and people, and they just stuck that here. They didn't go through the planning and zoning process. They didn't ask permission. It was more like a sucker punch where we're building it in Rocky Hill. Have a nice day.
All right, so if you do get in with Unite Rocky Hill, and hopefully you're going to get a good team in there, how are you folks going to address things like that? I mean, it's almost a bigger problem. How are you going to address it?
Well, we have a great team, and that's what's so exciting about Unite Rocky Hill is because we have people from every walk of life in every background. It's I have Larry Lindenberger is running with us, construction background his whole life, former assistant chief in the volunteer fire department, did 26 years, great people. We have Cindy Tangney, who spent her whole life working for emergency preparedness management, and she even did a couple emergency scenes that were presidentially declared disasters. She was in charge of. Exciting. Kathy Vargas, background in finance, running an office. She knows the numbers. She knows the books of Rocky Hill. We have Frank Zepps, great background, been a lifelong resident his whole life. And Michelle Collins, she runs a local business, knows a lot of people, and she knows a lot of what it's going to take to get Rocky Hill back on track.
Because they all believe that it's time to unite, and that's what it is. Unite Rocky Hill. Henry Vassal. Did I get it right that time?
You did.
Okay, good. I'm Steve Parker. We'll catch you next time on Henry Talk.
My name is Henry Vassal. I'm running for mayor of Rocky Hill, and I approved this message.